So I wanted to have a little bit of a chat with you guys. God, that sounds serious, doesn't it? It's like, you remember when you were little and your parents were like, can we have a chat? And you just have this feeling in your stomach like, what have I done? What have I done? I haven't done anything, I haven't done anything. So I wanted to speak to you guys about how I've changed. Because it sounds really dramatic and stupid, but I think that I've changed a lot over the past few years. And I don't necessarily think that I've ever really chatted about this in a video. And maybe I'll do like a longer, more in-depth video on this, like a sit-down video where I talk about some of these topics. If any of them are interesting to you, then let me know. Maybe they're not interesting at all to you, and that's okay too. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, particularly Twitter, I'm very vocal on Twitter. Maybe too vocal? I don't know. But if you follow me on Twitter, then I think you probably already know the kind of things that are important to me and where I stand on a lot of things. Nothing like a dog to bring you right back down to earth when you're getting full of your own self-importance, right, Maddie? What are you doing? I think the first big change that I've made in the last few years was obviously going vegan, and I've been vegan for nearly 2.5 years now, which has flown by. It's crazy, and that's had a big impact on other areas in my life, way more than I ever thought it would. I know the word vegan is like a really loaded word online, especially and particularly on YouTube, but yeah, it's quite interesting, particularly considering that I've been vegetarian most of my life. So it wasn't, I mean, it was a big change, but it wasn't that drastic of a change because I'd been vegetarian since I was about 11 years old, so like 2/3 of my life pretty much. I don't want to drone on about it too much in this video, because if you would like to hear a whole video on this and like how my perspective has changed on a lot of things, or several videos, then I'd be glad to do those. I think for a lot of people, like when you make a change, whatever that change is, for me it was going vegan. Whenever you make a change like that, your perspective that you've just held for your entire life and you've never really questioned before, when you start to question something like that and change your viewpoint on it, and you kind of shift a little bit in your thinking, then it leaves you open to other perspectives that you might want to change as well. And for me that was definitely the case. And I mean, I don't necessarily think that going vegan has changed all these things about me, because they probably might have happened anyway, just as I got older. Probably would have happened anyway, but for me it felt like it set off a chain of events that really changed my mentality on a lot of things. So a few months after I went vegan, I decided to go cruelty-free with all of my beauty products, because that was something that had always been at the back of my mind. I always got comments from people when I was talking about makeup that was tested on animals, or I would do a sponsored video. I always got comments from people saying it's hypocritical because, you know, you are vegetarian but you're using these products that are tested on animals. And I totally agree, it was hypocritical, but I didn't see it that way at the time. I was like hunched over talking to you there, so I thought I'd stand up, because it's not the most comfortable position. I'd rather my arm ache than look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I knew that it was hypocritical, and it made me kind of uneasy deep down, way deep down. And like for me, if you have like a set of beliefs, or you have a way that you feel about a particular thing, like for me, especially as a vegetarian, I never wanted to cause harm to another living being if I didn't need to. Like, if it's unnecessary, why would you want to hurt somebody if it's not necessary? And that's how I felt. But I was kind of contributing to that, and I was promoting these products, and somewhere deep down inside of me, I think I knew that. I don't think I'm explaining myself very well here. What I'm trying to say is, when I decided to go cruelty-free and I decided to stop using products that were tested on animals, I felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. I felt better, I felt happy, I felt really positive, and I felt like I was doing the things in my life, like with my actions, I was doing things that were lined up with my values. Another thing that's really shifted in my life over the last few years, and I think this probably is a lot to do with just getting older in general and growing up a bit and not being as worried about what other people think of you, is that I'm not really concerned with buying things and like just consuming things for the sake of it. unless it's like ice cream or something. This is not a dig at anybody who loves material stuff, because I mean, I do as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not someone who like never buys anything nice for myself, or, you know, doesn't like things. I like things, people like things, shiny things. The things that make me happy now are spending time with Matt, spending time with Maddie, being outside. I like being outside. I like going for walks and having a chat with them both. Well, with Matt. I mean, I chat with Maddie, but she doesn't chat back. But yeah, I just like being in their company, and that makes me really happy, and not necessarily buying every shade of lipstick and all that kind of stuff. I've been decluttering recently. I've been kind of dipping my toe into more minimalist kind of things, but not an actual minimalist. Maybe I should call it like mini minimalism. It's just like taking some minimalistic ideas and putting them into my own life, because hello, look at all these, like, I'm never going to be a minimalist. I'm also really into like using less plastic and trying to reduce the waste that I produce, and thinking about the things that I'm buying and where they've come from, and just overall being a little bit more conscious about what I'm doing. And that's something that I really want to kind of bring to this channel, because honestly, I feel like on YouTube these things are like really extreme. For example, if you're a vegan on YouTube, it's like, rah, 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 rah. You know, people running around just eating fruit all day and skipping in the forest. Or they're like just making videos about being vegan and how eating meat is terrible, and that kind of point of view. And then with minimalism, there's just people who like only have a suitcase that fits all their stuff in, or people who live in these like pristine apartments with like nothing in them. I'm not knocking any of those people. That is good content that is there for a reason, and I consume a lot of it. So I think some of these things seem a bit out of reach to the average person, and I'm an average person that just looks at this and I'm like, can I do that? I live in Lancashire. Am I going to be running around eating fruit all day in the forest? Probably not. So the kind of stuff that I want to make is somewhere bridging the gap. If you love lipsticks and you love fashion and you love all these things, but you kind of do care about animal testing, you care about that kind of stuff, then I can show you some really great alternatives that are cruelty free, and you can still like buy all your makeup and enjoy your life that way. If you want to try and cut down on your waste and like think a little bit more about what you're buying, but you know, you don't want to go and live in a yurt in a forest and like only produce this much waste. Ideas about decluttering and being more mindful about what you're buying, but not to the extreme that you only have one suitcase of possessions, because that isn't practical for everybody. I don't know, I'm rambling here, but these are some things that are really important to me, I'm really interested in, and I'm only seeing one representation of them online, and I would really love to try and incorporate some of that into my average Joe Schmo life in Lancashire. You know what I mean? Let me know what you think, guys. I don't know. Good chat, good chat.
I've been praying through the evening. I've been praying through the night, asking every higher power for a meaning, for a sign, to let the hour come. Oh, 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 oh. Through the day, but I've been picking up the pieces so we can remake